I am here today with DJ Salisbury, who is our rep coach and our acting coach at Wail with Shannah Rae. And we're just going to go through some questions that are commonly asked by actors who are auditioning. And we're going to help address some of your biggest pain points, the biggest things that you get frustrated with, and hopefully provide some answers for you along the way. So DJ has not seen these questions.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm just going to throw them. And so you're going to get in the moment, real feedback answers. All right. The first one, DJ, what is one big mistake actors make when choosing a cut for an audition?
The one big mistake is they choose you mean in terms of the cut? I'm going to say there's two that I would point to. First is
Okay.
having an intro that's way too long. Shorten the intro. If it's 4 bars, it's probably going to be okay if it's 1. So that's something to look at. And then secondly, a verse chorus, 32 bars, that's about it. 32 bar cut is usually about a verse and a chorus. And don't think that you have to do the beginning verse. Find the one that you can communicate the most through. Because a song, if it's a musical theater piece and it's 3+ minutes, it's going to have a real build. Find the juicy part. Find the part that you can really jump into and deliver. It does not have to be the first verse.
Okay. Question number 2. This may be a trick question because there's probably not an answer to it, but we'll see what we can get.
Okay.
How long does it take to build a solid audition book that feels in my bones, ready to walk into the room?
A book, it can take a while. Let's call it a year. But to have useful songs, it doesn't take that long. A couple of months to look around, find a couple of good, useful songs. But a book it's the range of the book that will take some more time. Knowing that if you're covering all genres of musical theater material, that just takes a little more time to find the balance in the book. But to find a couple of songs, a couple of months to find usable songs. But the book is a whole arc. You're looking for a well-rounded, ready to go for any situation. That's going to take about a year.
Yeah. And I think something that just came to me as you said that is I think that one of the things that I see that actors want to skip when they're starting out, and it's not even that they don't want to do it, it's maybe that they don't have grace for themselves with it, is that you're going to have to try it out.
Yes.
Like you're going to have to.
Exactly.
We're doing a rep building coaching program this summer to help people find material. At the end of the day, we're going to pick songs that we think are great and help coach and get you ready. But you still have to take them into a room.
Right.
And you still have to see if it works. And there's no way to get that information other than going in the room and seeing if it works.
And that takes the time it takes.
That takes the time it takes. And so I think for me, when I first came to the city, it was like giving myself the grace of, I don't have the perfect song. You're not going to for a while.
Without the feedback of like, how do I feel about that in the room? How is the team behind the table responding to what I'm doing? It takes a while.
Here's question number 3. What's a dead giveaway that somebody gave me this song and I'm good at it? I don't like it.
They're just not committed to their intentions. They're just not having a good time, like leaning in. That can be telling. If they're just not engaged by the material, having fun doing the material, it does show up.
My follow-up question would be, does that just read sort of on a subconscious level of this works on them? I don't know, something's not connecting.
I would say that yes, as any music director will tell you, they know within seconds whether you can.
Right.
Within seconds whether you can sing. And pretty much for the people that are the directors and choreographers, like within several seconds whether you can act. So if we just get that you can sing and you can act, but you're not really engaged, that has us start to question, who is this person? I hate to say that, but it's true. So they're capable. Why are they not in it? Why are they not in the material? I would quote, that's a personality thing. We've got all the tickets. Why aren't they here? Why aren't they showing up?
Is that enough to make you hesitate on offering the callback?
If I wasn't saying like what I talk about all the time, the essence, if I don't get a sense of who this person is, I would ask for something else. But not necessarily in the good way. It means I didn't get enough information. And sometimes you want more information because, you need to see range or whatever. But if I'm not seeing who you are, but I know you're capable, that's just a bit of a flag.
Now, here's a question I actually get from actors a lot. We know that you can't be fully dropped in on 25 different songs. You can't have a book full of 25 songs. But let's say something comes up. I'm right for it. I had this great song that would perfectly fit it. That director saw me do this song in a different audition for him 3 months ago. Do I need to get a new song, or is there a way I can take that same material in and still provide further information? Or are they going to be like, why'd you bring me a song I saw 3 months ago?
Here's what I'd say, but if you say director, distinct from casting director, I will say that as a director, I have zero concern if you do the same material for me every time I see you. If you're in it, delivering, I don't care. I don't care that I've seen it before. I want to see it done well. And because 3 months go by, it's not going to be fresh in my mind. Casting directors, I think, want to continue to see all the colors of your palette. But if you're bringing a song that you just said was perfect for the role that you're auditioning for, I would not question that they're doing it again if it was a song they used 3 months ago, which was also perfect for the role they were auditioning for. So let's give an example. If you're auditioning for Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, there's going to be some sort of big emotional thing, probably, if you want to do a Suddenly Seymour style song. If you're auditioning for Weird Romance, that actor, Ellen Green, played Audrey. She was also playing a role in Weird Romance. So if you did the song from Weird Romance for Little Shop of Horrors, we Stop and See Me. If you brought that in for Weird Romance and Little Shop of Horrors, I would go, these shows. I do not care that you did it for both different shows 3 months apart. You chose the right song to have me understand who you are in this kind of material.
I think that's going to provide relief for a lot of actors who, anytime something comes up, it's not going to find something new. There's no way you can be that dropped in constantly.
That's right.
Cycling material.
I'll tell you that one of the auditions that I will always remember, and it's a song that is usually people say don't do, is Meadowlark, because it's a long story song. But I'll never forget Sada Ramirez doing it for a workshop. I was choreographing a workshop of a new musical. Came in fresh out of Juilliard, I think. And I don't even know that I would say it was right for the show. They were giving of themselves through that material that would let us know whether or not they were the person for the role. Does that make sense? Like, it's like not, I'm delivering who I am to you through this material. And whether or not it's perfectly appropriate for this show, you will know who I am by the time I finish. And I'll never forget that audition.
Here's another one for you. When you're casting and you have a choice between the stronger singer that's going to need some acting coaching or the stronger storyteller that's going to need some vocal coaching, which way are you going and why?
I would say if there is it depends. It depends upon the level of acting prowess necessary for the role. So if something's a sort of lighthearted comedy, let's say Anything Goes, lighthearted comedy. So if I have a young female presenting person in for Hope and the voice is glorious and the acting's good, I might go for the glorious voice because that's what is necessary in the role. It's not a difficult acting role. If it's going to be something like Dot in Sunday in the Park with George, I will choose the actor. Absolutely. Because it's the range of Dot. It doesn't matter how good you sing if you can't act it. It just won't matter. And of course, we always want both the singer and the actor. But I would absolutely gravitate towards someone who's bringing so many tools to the task to do a more challenging role. So I hope that answers the question. I say I tend to gravitate toward the acting, but in this industry, we can be clear, good singers out there. There's some really good singers out there who can act. I'll just jump in and say, there's used to be true that people would say musical theater actors were not good actors. That is not true anymore. That is not true. Not that it ever was necessarily. Yeah, there are some fantastic actors who are fantastic singers. So I don't worry too much that I'm going to have to choose a lesser singer anymore. I really don't.
Pop rock has changed that landscape a little bit
Oh yeah,
too. And
sure.
in that one, I think there is if you walk in and you don't understand that style and they can hear that you don't understand that,
Yeah,
that is going to be
that's
sorry, this isn't.
that's correct. If they come in and they sound too legit for a rock and roll score, I'm going to be associate on a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. So if they're not rock singers, they're not going to be cast. The entire cast, ensemble too.
Right.
It's just that's what that show requires. And if a musical theater person comes in, I know I can sing it. Sure, you can sing it, but are you vocally the quality of sound, the texture of the voice, all the things that rock and roll is? It's very distinct.
Oh, here's a good one. I have a song that's a grand slam. Gets me callbacks. It's a winner every time. And I'm sick of it. What do I do? I'm sick of my winner. What do I do?
You take it apart, you deconstruct all of the map of intentions if you have one. My guess is if you're sick of it, you don't really have one. You don't really have one that you enjoy. Go back and find the joy of the juiciness of what you're doing moment to moment, because the song's the song. And if it's been a winner, meaning it has gotten you callbacks and bookings, then yeah, you just want to reinvest in the loving of it. And that has to do with finding juicy intentions. Just change up the intentions. Because can probably pretty much guarantee it won't change your results if it's been successful for you, but it will change your approach to it and your desire to do it.
This is a question I would say, particularly with younger actors that come to me if they're fresh out of college. What advice would you give or guidance would you give to a young actor who is finding out that they're going to be called in for the roles they're not excited about?
You just have to face that disappointment in this artistic discipline that you've chosen, coming to terms with like how you are seen, distinct from who you think you are or who you even want to be, how you see yourself. We are commodities as performers. We are commodities. I was a cowboy, strange to say, but I had so many roles as a cowboy. Will Parker, Will Rogers Follies. I was the American cowboy at Epcot Center, World Dancers. For what I'm tall and lanky, and people instantly go, "Oh, if there were a live action version of Toy Story, I would be Woody." It's just,
Yeah.
is that what I wish I were? Not really, but it's okay because I worked. What I point to is like, any role you get is opportunity for so many things. Growth as an artist, the networking, which is so valuable in our industry, getting to know the creative team and your fellow actors, it's just so valuable. So to not want to do something because you're not so excited about the role, be excited about the opportunity. It's not specifically about the role. You will find your way. And as a director, I will say, I direct shows. I've directed a lot of shows. I always find something to love. I always find something to love. When my first thought maybe, like, oh, that show, okay. No, actors the same thing. Oh, that role, okay. You will find something to love, and that's a great discovery process. So go for it. Don't be worried about being pigeonholed. Be happy if you keep getting roles where people go, I get you. I get how to use you. A friend of mine, I won't mention the name here, but has played Shrek, has played Ogie in Waitress. Character man, young 30s, will actually start working more in about 10 years. That's how people see him. And good, he's getting those roles.
Right.
He may want to do a Prince Charming, I don't know, but he's getting great roles. They're the character man, the young character man. And in 10 years, he won't stop.
And then that's where I would follow up and say, and this is what I tell my singers all the time, don't wait to create. If you want a world in which you get to play that role, then put together your show. Do a solo show. Write one in which you are that.
Absolutely.
That's what Lin-Manuel Miranda has done. Write it. If there's not a world that exists where you get to be who you want to be and play who you want to play, write the world. Or get with a writer and say, this is my vision. How can we? Don't wait on somebody to hand you dreams.
It's funny, you might get another example. I'm not going to remember the writer actor's name. She wrote it for herself because she was a curvy Mae West type. She wrote a show about being a curvy woman who wants to be like Mae West. Oh, she just wrote it and it got to Broadway.
Yeah.
because she was probably facing that she wasn't being cast in as many different kinds of roles as she wanted. She wrote her own, got to Broadway. Cola Scola, come on, with Oh Mary. He's unique as a being. He has an interesting speech pattern, just a little quirky, odd being. Oh Mary is one of the biggest hits in years as a comedy. Wrote it for himself.
If it doesn't exist, create it.
Create it.
So this is speaking more to some of the coaching that we're going to be doing with singers this summer. Look at the little description below. Here's the question. Building my audition book feels overwhelming. Where do I start?
Acknowledging that that's overwhelming and saying, but this is the craft. This is the old adage. The job of an actor is getting the job. It's an old adage because it's just true. More of your time will be spent in the preparation for auditions than will ever really be spent in a rehearsal room. It's just the way it times out. You will spend more of your time preparing for auditions to get the job than you will actually being in the job. Because you might have, 4 weeks of a rehearsal process in any given time. What are you doing? Maybe 3 in a year. But the rest of the year, what are you doing? You're preparing for those auditions. Say it's okay. Say it's okay. Overwhelming, you can, how do you eat an elephant? A bite at a time. You just say, I'm going to focus on my golden age ballad. I'm going to really search in that realm, not look at my whole book, but this particular realm. I know that's missing in my book, and I want to find something I can really just buy into and I enjoy doing. And that's step by step. That's how the book gets built.
And that's what we are going to be working with you guys on this summer. So make sure you check out the information below on how you can get involved with that. So now let's say I've worked with a rep coach, like they've done a rep coaching session. Why is it important after I have cut my song, prepared my song? Why is it important that I take it to class and that I get coaching and outside feedback on this before I take it into the room? Why can't I pick the song, it's a song that fits me, I've got a good cut, let me just go straight into the room with it? Why is getting that outside feedback and coaching so crucial?
It's crucial in one sense is that if you have performed it in front of people, whether peers or coaches, it's not the scary, crazy, scary experience of taking it for the first time in front of casting people. So do yourself the favor of not having your first outing of a song be in front of people who can say yay or nay in terms of getting you a job. Do it in front of people who are going to be there to support. For just to having come out of your body and to say, oh, this is what I'm doing. And then also to begin to hone in. Feedback is feedback. And I always love to say what I do as a director is I am the eye outside. I'm what you can't see. And that's what I do as a director in terms of what's happening on stage. And just as a quick example, I just had an actor say, can I do this joke line over here? And there was an obstacle between her and the person listening to the joke in the staging. I said, you can. And she tried it. I said, that works. But if you get the proximity to the person receiving the joke line, it will be funnier. Now, that actor didn't know that. They didn't, because they can't see from the outside view. That's what coaches do. We see from the outside view to help you go, you're pressing your lips. You don't know that. You wouldn't be doing it if you knew it.
Right.
So feedback like that. And if you think you're pushing on an intention and it's just not happening for us, we'll say, what is that intention? It's not coming through. It's not showing up. And you need to hear that before you get in front of a casting director and they go, there's nothing happening there.
Also, one of the things that I tell my singers all the time is it puts you in a medium stakes environment as far as you're working with your fight or flight. I've had so many singers that will want to come from a one-on-one lesson and go straight to a room where there's 5 strangers behind a table and maybe a video camera and an accompanist. And there's never been a moment.
And there's a job at stake.
And there's a job at stake.
Yeah.
There's never been a moment where you got in front of more than one person who you already have a safe relationship with.
It's interesting. I've been doing these dance competitions, and sometimes people slip on a floor. You can tell immediately the dancers who have the experience of having been in rehearsal to be able to cover and move on from those who are new and young, and it throws the rest of their dance off.
Right.
Throws the rest of it off. because they're like, oh my gosh, they start focusing on what happened, the history that happened moments ago. And it keeps pulling them back to the foible, the mistake. When you have done it and you're practiced and then practiced in front of people, you go, okay, that happened to know. Now what? It's a skill and it takes working in front of people when the nerves are there.
Yeah. It's the same thing for an actor. If they give a tempo and the tempo starts and it's either faster or slower than you wanted, you can tell the difference between somebody who is comfortable going, oh, I'm sorry, let me start that again, and just rolls with it. This is a skill. Like in class, you work that muscle. And especially that's why we have our in-person Monday night classes, or come in, talk to these companies, make sure that you are communicating clearly what you need.
Very important skill set.
True or false, or somewhere in between if you want, but true or false. The person with the aligned essence, but the wrong song, will get the callback over the person with the right song, but an essence that is not aligned with the character. In other words, the song won't stop you if you're a fit and your work is good.
Yes, true. Yeah, if back to what I said about Meadowlark.
Right.
I don't know that it was appropriate for the show that they were auditioning for, but I saw that person. I want to work with that person.
My final one, and then I will ask you to share anything that I maybe haven't touched on that you would like to share with young actors or actors who are working on their book. Besides vocal skill and acting technique, what are the things that we're maybe not clocking that are being assessed or read when an actor walks into the room? What energetically are you reading?
You know, it's interesting because there are some very talented, work all the time kinds of actors, Broadway level even, that have a sort of a scattered energy in auditions. I've seen it. And I feel badly for them because I always want people to come in with the confidence that they're going to deliver what they do. The results will be the results and it's okay. And they're going to have a great time in the room. They're going to have a great time in the room because it's an opportunity to meet the people behind the table. Let the people behind the table see what they do. That calm, confident energy, it goes so far. Again, there are some that come in all scattered and they're brilliant in their ways and they get the job anyway. But when we behind the table feel at ease with you, it's a big step for you. It's a big plus for you. Come in, just knowing it's going to be okay. We are colleagues here. We're theater makers together, and you'll see if this is the package you want or not. And that's it. It's all good. That simple confidence is so wonderful when people come with that.
As we are wrapping up here, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you feel like you want to address that's useful for anybody who either will be joining us for our book building classes over the summer, or maybe they're not able to join us for that, but you want to leave them with
Pearls of wisdom.
pearls of wisdom.
Did I put out the pearls? We've talked about it frequently in our classes together. The idea that you are coming in and when you start your musical material in an audition, it's an artificial situation. You're not in a show. When you come in and you're going to deliver a communication that is your song, be on the highway, not on the ramp. Be on the highway. And that takes, again, practice, work, so that you're not ramping up into, now I'm there. As soon as the music starts, you're clear and present to what you're communicating. You're on the highway. You do not have the luxury of the couple of seconds to go up the ramp and onto the highway. You don't have it. There are experts behind the table and they want to see you on the highway. And if they see you on the ramp, they can really quickly check out. Even if the rest of your song is good, they can easily check out if they feel as if they're waiting for you to get there. So be on the highway.
And I think sometimes actors may get frustrated with that. But one of the best things that I ever did for myself was go sit behind a table and serve on a creative team in some capacity, because I saw, oh, I get it. They got 2 weeks to get this done. And they're looking at what team can I put together that can get this done in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And if person A is great, but I'm watching you hesitate, and person B comes in and they're great and there's zero hesitation, then I can put my trust over here. Now I can focus on directing my show and not trying to catch person A up so that I can make them ready to be in my show.
Or prod them into something. You don't want people that you have to always prod into doing the work. But you want people who are ready to work, who have the practice and the toolkit. They're ready to, what do you want to do? Let's do it. Okay, I'll try that. those people. And we try our best. We're not always good at it, but we try our best behind the table to find that energy of being game. And when you see somebody come in their audition material and they're dropping on the highway, as soon as the music, even as soon as they step away from the piano and take their moment before and give the look to the pianist, if they're on the highway or if they're on the ramp.
And I would also say, and I think this might be useful for people to hear too. If they go big, a direction completely different than the one you or I would have taken them,
yeah,
I don't care. You went big somewhere. Then a director will go, can I adjust that big? Let me see if they'll go big this way.
right.
But you went big somewhere, even if it's not where I would have gone. You went big somewhere.
That's right. You made a big, bold choice. That's another phrase I always want to say to actors, dancers, anybody in theater, writers even. It's the Goethe. It's one piece of a long speech he had, but boldness has magic in it. It does. It gives us so much information about the actor when somebody just makes a bold choice. I want to work with people who make bold choices.
Then if you make a bold choice and I can throw you a different bold choice and you'll roll with that too. Oh my goodness, please be on my team.
Best. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, guys, if you have questions, drop those in the comments below. We're happy to answer them. And again, stay on the lookout for information coming your way on how DJ and I can help you get this book going. Or if yours is a little dusty and you need some revamp, we're happy to help you with that too. So thank you, DJ. And we'll see you guys this summer.